Well, better late than never. Let's go Flyers. The Flyers versus the Barrie Colts. Darling wins the draw, brings it into the Colts zone. That's the puck to Guglietti. He has it stripped. Puck comes to the blue line. Jeffrey Stedman into Darling. Darling walks around. Shot off the blocker. Jeffrey Stedman pinches, keeps the play in. DK Ellis picks up the puck. Walks out front. Shot. Just wide. Darling picks up the puck. Gets pinned against the boards. Barrie gets it to the near corner. Fires it to the blue line. Kept in by Sloan. Second effort by Barrie. Nope, still in. Puck at the blue line. Sloan gets it to Darling. Darling walks in, into traffic, gets picked. Barrie skated over the puck. Darling picks it up. And over the blue line. Gets it to the far boards. Darling with a good play. Off the boards to the far corner. Centering attempt. Picked off by Barrie. They'll clear to the blue line and out. Puck's in the Flyer zone. Guglietti picks it up. Gets it out along the far boards. She'll skate it into the Barrie zone. Guglietti centers it. Picked off by the Colts, and they'll clear the zone. Felix in neutral ice along the boards. Chipped down in the Flyers' end by the Colts. Centering attempt blocked by O'Shea. Colts with the puck in the near corner. Thrown out front. Nickel with a good stick to break that shot up. Nickel again gets it to the blue line, not out. Ambrosio skates it out of the zone. Stopped there by the Colts. Ambrosio picks it up to center ice and gets stripped. Colts back in the Flyers zone. To the near corner. Nickel lifts it off the boards. Thrown out front. Past everybody. Nickel gets a piece of it. It's bumped at the half boards. Barrie throws it back in behind the Flyers net. Savory chips it to the far corner to Nickel. Nickel to the blue line and out to Felix. Felix skates around the defender. That's caught up with the centerman in the back check. Felix picks the loose puck up behind the Colts net. It's bumped. Savory pinches, keeps the puck in deep. Lets the shot go, hits a stick, bounces. And the Colts goalie will cover that for a whistle. Telford steps in to take the draw. He'll win it to Way. Way winds up, lets the shot go, blocked in front. Telford with the loose puck, gets it to Lunny, and he'll score. Telford to Lunny. Makes it 1-0 Flyers. 7:11 to go in the first period. Telford steps back in for the Flyers. Won by the Colts to the blue line. Passed up through neutral ice into the Flyers zone. Way off the boards. Kept in by the Colts. Way's there. It gets Telford to Lunny. Lunny chips it around the defender. Lunny in over the Colts zone. Centering attempt to Telford. Telford with the backhand. He scores! Lunny to Telford. 6:53 to go in the first period. Darling in to take the draw. He'll win it to DeCamillis. DeCamillis turns it around, gets it to the blue line, chips over to Darling. Darling walks in, shot wide of the net. Rebound comes to the far blue line. Kept in by Jeffrey Stedman. He'll dump it in, picked off by Barrie. Colts through neutral ice in the Flyer zone. Stopped at the half boards. Pass intercepted by Sloaney. He gets it to the blue line, not out. Shot on net. Dittman with the save. Face off in the Flyer zone. Darling steps in to take it. Won by the Colts, picked off by Darling. He'll skate it out of the zone. In over the Colts blue line. Darling takes advantage of the defender who trips. Shot blocked. Rebound off to the far boards. Guglietti steps in with DeCamillis. Puck squirts out to the far corner. Guglietti picks it up, walks out front, throws it on net, and the Colts goalie will cover that for a whistle. Ambrosio steps in to take the draw for the Flyers. He'll win it. O'Shea with the shot, and the goalie will glove that down for a whistle. Flyers regroup. Ambrosio wins another one. Back to O'Shea at the blue line. He'll send it around the boards. Picked off by the Colts, and he'll clear it out. Colts through neutral ice, in over the Flyers' blue line. Send it to the far corner. Rosio picks that off. Tries to backhand that to Felix. Gets intercepted by the Colts. Shot. And they scored. (2-1) Flyers. 5:29 to go in the first period.
Okay, Flyers, keep it up, boys.
Get it back, boys. Telford steps in to take the draw for the Flyers. He'll win it. Back to himself. Chips it to the blue line and ran into some traffic. Colts pick up the puck, bring it into the Flyers zone, throw it towards the net. Mass gets it to the near boards. Chipped up by Lunny. He'll skate it through neutral ice and over the blue line. Centering a pass. Picked off, and the goalie will cover it. Telford in for the draw. He'll win it to Lunny along the far or near boards to Way. Way with the shot. Blocked in front. Puck comes to the blue line. Kept in at first. Colts chip it out. And Flyers going to the box for interference. Flyers penalty, number 14, Austin Way. 2 minutes for interference. 4:57 to go in the first period. Telford in for the draw for the Flyers. He'll win it back. Sloan off near boards to the blue line, kept in. Shot intercepted by Jeffrey Stedman. He'll get it to the near boards. Thrown out front, past everybody. Colts send it to the far corner. Picked up by Telford. He'll skate it behind his net. Get around, get it to the blue line and out. Colts fire back in, hit their own player, and that'll be offside. 1:35 to go on the Flyers penalty. Darling steps in for the Flyers. He'll win it, bouncing puck picked up by the Colts. They'll bring it right back into the Flyers zone. Savory gets a piece of it, fires it around to the far boards to Andrade. Andrade lifts it past everybody. That'll go the length of the ice. Darling in on the forecheck. Colts get it to the blue line, kept in by Andrade to Darling. Darling steps around. Still with the puck, he gets taken down, no call. Colts pick up the puck and bring it back out of their zone. And over the Flyers blue line, let the shot go off the pad. Dittman, he'll clear it to the boards. Andrade fires it back down the ice. 52 seconds to go in the Flyers penalty. Colts play it out of the blue line. Flyers own shot, saved by Dittman to the far corner. Guglietti picks up that loose puck. Skates it up to the Flyers blue line and just brings it out. Guglietti back. He's playing with it, picked off by the Colts. In over the Flyers blue line, drop pass. Swiped by DeCamillis. He'll take it wide. In over the blue line. And into some traffic. DeCamillis gets it to the near corner. Colts fired around the boards to the blue line. Savory's there. He'll keep it in. DeCamillis along the boards. Savory stops it at the blue line. Flyers clear and then goes back in. Colts fired off the far boards to neutral ice. O'Shea fires that puck back in. That'll do it for the Flyers penalty. Back to 5-on-5. Colts in over the Flyers blue line. Lets a shot go. Dittman gets a piece of it, sends the puck over the net. Played around the far boards to the blue line, kept in. Colts center it, almost connected. Felix picks it up, plays it off the boards. Into the Colts zone. Picked up by Barrie, those looks to pass it back. Off the boards and out. Way at his blue line. He'll get the red line and chip it in to the near corner. Past the Barrie defender. Ambrosio and Nickel in on the forecheck. Comes around to Mass at the blue line. He'll get it to Nickel. Nickel tries to center. Intercepted by the Colts. In over the blue line. With the shot. Well saved by Dittman. Rebound goes in the net. Two. .150 to go in the first period. Telford in for the Flyers. Take the draw. Won by the Colts. They'll pass it up to the Flyers blue line and back in the zone. From Stedman with a stick. Keeps it around the outside. Sloan fires it around the near boards to the blue line. Kept in. Back to Sloan. Off the boards to Lunny. Lunny back to Sloan. Thrown on net. Dittman comes up with a big save. Kept in at the blue line. Colts back towards the net. Dittman will cover that for a whistle. Telford in for the draw. Telford wins it. To Andrade, he gets a piece of it. Puck comes just outside the zone. Flyers cleared. Colts pick it up and send it cross ice. Back in the Flyer zone. Shot from the point. Dittman steers that wide to the far corner. Pass up the boards. Andrade just catches an edge. Center. Picked off by Lunny. To Andrade. Andrade across to Telford. Telford in over the blue line with the puck. Thrown towards the net. Intended for Lunny. Lunny was tied up. Barrie will cover that for a whistle. 31.8 seconds to go in the first period. Darling in for the Flyers. He'll win it to DeCamillis. DeCamillis sends it to the corner for Darling. Darling behind the goal line. Tries to center it. Hit a Barrie player. DeCamillis. He strips it out. Walks out front with it. Shot. And that's it. No goal. They're waving it off.
Oh, come on.
Guess you're saying the net was off? .13.5 seconds to go in the period. Darling wins it to DeCamillis. He'll turn and send it to the near corner. Darling shovels it forward. Luke DeCamillis picks it up. Colts strip it and they'll break it out of the zone. That'll do it for the period. Like 3/4. Here we go to start the second period. Darling steps in to start the second period. From draw, picked up by the Colts. DeCamillis strips it, clears the zone. Colts at the blue line, couldn't get it deep. Darling steps into his man. DeCamillis in over the blue line. Gets it to the far corner, behind the net. DeCamillis He's there for Guglietti. Played up to the blue line. O'Shea. He'll dump that puck back in the zone. Around the far corner. Played along the boards. Kept in there by Savory. Savory to Darling. Darling tries to walk out with it. Hits a couple sticks. Picked up by the Colts, and they'll bring it out of their zone. Darling with a good back check. Gets it to DeCamillis. Pass intended for Guglietti. Just stripped by the Colts. Dumped into the Flyer zone to the near corner. Played off the boards by O'Shea to the blue line. And out by Guglietti. Ambrosio picks up that puck. Walks in. Lets a shot go. Rebound out front. Ambrosio runs into Guglietti, and the Colts pick up the puck and skate it out. They'll chip it into the Flyer zone to the near corner. Thrown on net. Dittman will cover it for a whistle. Ambrosio in for the draw for the Flyers. Ambrosio wins it into the ref's feet. Picked up by the Colts. They'll play it to the blue line. Shot wide of the net. Out front. Blocked by Way. Second shot. Saved by Dittman. Played out front. Colts are all over the Flyers here. They get a piece of it. Send it to the far corner. Out front. Picked up by Ambrosio. Way gets it off the boards to the blue line. That's it. Mass behind his net. Sends it around to the far side. Kept in by Barrie. Colts behind their net. Mass gets tripped. No call. Ambrosio hauls his man down. Picks up the loose puck and begins breaking it out. Gets it to Nickel at the blue line. Nickel across for Felix. He'll touch it. Keep it in. Just get it in the Barrie zone. Colts turn it around. Back in the Flyers' end. Nickel strips his man of the puck. Felix off the boards to Ambrosio. He'll chip it off the boards back to Felix. Felix into the blue line. Shot just wide of the net. Rebound comes to the near half boards. Mass kept it in. Gets it to Ambrosio. Ambrosio walks out. Backhand. Blocker saved by the Colts. Nickel behind the net. Gets bumped. Colts pick up the loose puck. Send it off the far boards to the blue line. The Way. He doesn't hold on to it. Colts pick up the puck. Walk into this Flyer zone. Shot steered wide by Mass. Colts center the puck. Way gets a piece of it off the boards to the blue line and out. Colts fire that puck back into the zone. Mass gets it to the half board or center ice. And Barrie goes in offside. Telford in for the draw. He'll win it. Barrie picks it up just over the blue line. Gets a shot. Dittman with the save, and then he'll jump on that for a whistle. Face off deep in the Flyer zone. Won by Telford to Lunny. Lunny just a little too high over the Colts bench. Telford wins the draw clean. Gets it to Lunny. Lunny kicks it over the blue line. Gets center ice and dumps it in. Lunny picks up his own puck in the far corner. Tries to center. Hits a Colts skate. Colts regroup. Begin the breakout. Through center ice, in over the blue line, onside. Thrown towards the net. Lunny picks it up. Gets it to the far corner. Mid-ice collision there. They're okay. Sloan steps up for Lunny, gets the red line, and chips it in off the boards to the far corner. Telford to Jeffrey Stedman at the blue line. He gets a shot off, but blocked in front. Loose puck. Stripped by the Colts, and they'll skate it back out of the zone. Over the Flyers' blue line, they'll dump it in. Far corner, Sloan off the boards. to the Colts. They'll get a shot off the side of the net. Back to Sloan in the far corner. He'll chip it off the boards. To Darling. Darling tries to get it to DeCamillis. Picked off by the Colts. Shot. Blocker saved by Dittman, and he'll cover that for a whistle. Get both those pads down. Darling in to take the draw. Darling wins it, gets it to O'Shea, and he'll throw it off the boards, try to clear it. Colts pick it up. Darling off the boards around his man. Up to Guglietti. He taps that into the Colts zone. Picked up by the Colts. They'll send that up to center ice, in over the Flyers' blue line. Savory, he keeps it there. Sends it to the blue line, not out. O'Shea steps up. Colts get a piece of it, keep it in the zone. O'Shea intercepts that pass, sends it around the near boards to Guglietti. Guglietti runs into some traffic. Darling steps up to help. Guglietti strips it. He'll skate it the rest of the way out of the zone. Over the red line. Tries to get it in the zone, but he gets manhandled by a Colts player. DeCamillis along the near boards, turns back out of the zone, sends it across, goes across ice. In over the blue line. DeCamillis steps around one, runs into some traffic and gets taken down. Colts chip that past Savory at the blue line. O'Shea. Come on. O'Shea gets taken down. Puck still in the Flyer zone to the near far corner. Picked up by Guglietti. Steps around 1 and 2. To the Flyers blue line. He gets stripped of it. O'Shea gets a piece. And he'll clear the zone. Colts get a piece. Send it back in the Flyers zone. Picked up by Ambrosio. He'll skate behind his net. Bring it up the near side. Ambrosio through center ice. Flyers players skate into each other and the Colts pick it up. Colts dump it in. They're offside. They were changing. O'Shea to Ambrosio. Ambrosio sends it to center ice, picked off by the Colts. In over the blue line. Ambrosio strips it. He'll bring it in to offside. One extra move at the blue line puts him offside. Ambrosio steps in to take this one. He'll win it cleanly. Pops over Mass's stick. Mass gets a piece of it. Chips it into the Colts zone. Colts send it around to the near boards. Picked there by Nickel. Second effort comes to center ice. Colts overskate the puck. Let the shot off. Puck and right on Dittman. He'll hold that. Telford in for the Flyers. Telford wins it to the far boards, picked up by Barrie to Lunny. He'll get it. Drops it there. Colts grab it. Dittman deflects that one deep behind the net. Fired hard off around the boards by Way. That'll clear the zone. Colts tried to dump it back into the Flyer zone, and Drady, he picks it up. Just overskated. Colts in over the Flyers blue line again to the near corner. Tried to center it, played off a stake. Way gets it to the near boards to Andrade. He'll send it off the boards. Dyson's waved off. Picked up by Barrie, deep in their zone. Andrade strips it. Tried to get it to Lunny. Pops over Way's stick, and that'll roll down back into the Flyer zone. Mass off the boards to Telford. Telford around the defender. In over the blue line. Tries to drop it there for Andrade. Way steps in. Gets a piece of it. Doesn't shoot. Gets it to the far boards to Lunny. Lunny gets stripped of it. Colts to the blue line and back out. Center ice. Way winds up. Lets a shot go from center ice. Rolling puck. Just missed the net. Colts back to their blue line and out. Mass Puts it back in. Back to Mass. Mass gets bumped. And the Colts will bring that back in the Flyers zone, offside. Darling steps in for the Flyers. Kicked forward, picked off by the Colts, and they'll get it deep in the near corner. Played behind the Flyers' net. Centering attempt, blocked by Sloan. Sloan takes his man into the far corner. Darling steps up to help. Sloan and Darling. DeCamillis steps in now. And it wasn't moving anywhere, so they'll blow it down. Darling wins the draw through DeCamillis' legs. He'd pick it up. Tried to send it out. Gets a Colt stick. Jeffrey Stedman sends that to the far corner. DeCamillis to Darling. Back to DeCamillis. He's got a bit of room. Gets it to Darling along the far boards. He'll chip it in over the blue line. Darling gets a bit of a hook. Darling to DeCamillis. DeCamillis into some traffic. Back to Darling. They'll run into each other. And some pressure. Guglietti steps in to help. Puck's in the far corner. DeCamillis takes his man down. Darling comes up with it. Stripped by the Colts. Behind their net. Guglietti. He'll steal it. Spins. Has the stick checked. Colts pick up the puck. Skate along the near boards. Out of the zone. And now the Flyers are going to the box. Hooking. There's two teams left. Flyers penalty. Number 6, Massimo Guglietti. 2 minutes for hooking. 5:27 to go in the second period. Ambrosio steps in to take this draw. Bit of a sloppy draw, thrown towards the net. Dittman will cover that. There's a reset. Ambrosio wins it to the near boards, picked up by the Colts to the blue line. Thrown on net, steered wide by Dittman. Colts player steps in, fires it wide. Thrown out front. Comes back to the Flyers' blue line, played across. Felix with some good D. Shot on net, covered by Dittman. Lunny steps in to take this draw. Picked off by Lunny to the far boards. He'll play it off the boards to the blue line, kept in. Loose puck picked up by the Colts. He'll throw it on net. Dittman will glove that and hold on to it. Lunny on the draw, won by the Colts, but Lunny strips it. Gets a piece of it to the blue line, not out. Nickel, backhands, picked off by the Colts. Way gets a piece of it, he'll send it down the ice. 1 minute to go on the Flyers penalty. Lunny wins that foot race. Nickel along the near boards, gets it back to Lunny in the near corner. Lunny steps up with it, gets stick checked just before he could get the shot off. Colts with the puck along the far boards. Dumped it to center ice. Mass backhands that back in the zone. Brought out by the Colts, in over the Flyers blue line. Thrown out front. Lunny with a good stick. Just off balance, he couldn't keep his chase going. Nickel dumps it back into the Colts zone. Way lifts the stick. Tyson's waved off. Mass. Oh, thrown out by the Colts. Past everybody. The slot shot. Off the side of the net. Mass gets a piece of it. Picked off by the Colts. They'll throw it on net. Shot. Dimmer with the save. Seven seconds to go in the Flyers penalty. Telford in for the draw. Scrum draw, won by Telford to Jeffrey Stedman. He'll lift that to the blue line and out. That puck's going down the length of the ice. Andrade's in on the forecheck. Applying pressure. Andrade picks it up. Flyers are back to 5-on-5. Centering pass, picked off by the Colts to the blue line, kept in by Sloan. He fires that to the near corner. Colts off the boards. They'll just skate it out of their zone. Through the legs, picked up by Sloan. Lifted off the boards to Telford. Telford to Andrade. Andrade in over the blue line. Gets it deep. Colts fired around the far boards. To the blue line, kept in by Sloan. He'll play it off the boards back to the far corner. Guglietti gets it behind the net. He'll hit the brakes. Walk up with it. Shot. Off the pad. Guglietti picks up the rebound. Thrown out front. And Telford with the shot. Blocker save. Telford going after his own rebound in the near corner. Picked up by Barrie. Played to the blue line and out. Jeffrey Stedman sends that in off the glass. Flyers are offside. Still offside. Finally cleared. Back to Jeffrey Stedman. He'll get it to Telford along the far boards. Telford lifts it off the Barrie player. No going offside. Back at center ice. Guglietti steps through his man. Colts 4-on-2. Thrown on net. Dimmer with the save. Jeffrey Stedman fires it around the near boards. Guglietti. Guglietti gets shoved to the boards. Back to Jeffrey Stedman. He'll play it off into some traffic. Guglietti to Darling. Darling off the boards to Guglietti. Guglietti in over the blue line. All kinds of pressure. Guglietti walks out, gets it out front. And the goalie will jump on that one. .139 to go in the second period. Darling steps in to take the draw. He'll win it. Savory lets the shot go blocked. Savory gets the rebound before it can be cleared out of the zone. Darling into the far corner to Guglietti. Guglietti tries to throw it out front. Colts strip it. Darling in the near corner. Steps around a couple, loses the puck in traffic. Picked up by the Colts. They'll skate it to center ice and chip it in the Flyer zone. O'Shea off the boards into the Colts player. Behind the goal line. Colts come up with it. Guglietti steals it. And he'll skate it out of the zone. Cross to DeCamillis. DeCamillis into some traffic. Gets it to the far corner. Steps around 1 and 2. Brings it in deep. And finally, looks like they saw that one. Colts penalty, 2 minutes for tripping. .7 seconds to go in the second period. See if the Flyers can capitalize on this power play. Ambrosio in for the draw. Won by the Colts to the far corner. Lifted through neutral ice all the way down the zone. Way picks up the puck behind his net. Brings it out the far side. Sends it to Felix at the blue line. A little too hard. Cleared back into the Flyer zone. Mass picks it up this time. Off the boards to Nichols. Stripped by the Colts. They'll get a shot off, but weak. Way sends it behind Felix. Colts dump it back in the Flyer zone. 20 seconds to go in the period. Way to Felix. Felix at the blue line offside. 11 seconds to go in the period. Ambrosio back in for the draw. One by the Colts to Flyers blue line. Shot by Way, blocked in front by Ambrosio. He'll bring it in over the blue line onside. Colts get a piece of it and clear it back out. That'll do it for the period.
They're slowing down.
Telford's in to start the third period. A minute 12 to go in the Flyers penalty or power play. Lunny in offside. Colts pick it up and send that back in the Flyers zone. Sloan. Telford along the near boards. In over the blue line. Telford battling, gets it to Andrade. Picked up by the Colts and they'll send it down the ice. Sloan. Off the near boards to Telford, to Lunny. Held there by the Colts, and they'll go in offside. Telford in for the draw. He'll win that one to the Colts blue line. They'll get a piece of it and send it down the ice. 35 seconds to go in the Flyers power play. Jeffrey Stedman. Off the boards to Andrade. Andrade under all kinds of pressure. Stripped by the Colts, picked up by Telford. Telford through center ice, in over the blue line, lets a shot go. Tipped wide into the near corner. Lunny gets a piece of it to the far corner, throws it out front. Andrade, shot off the side of the net. Picked up by the Colts, they'll send it to the far boards to Jeffrey Stedman. He'll chip it back in the zone. Andrade in the corner. Telford comes out with it. Shot. Off the goaltender. Colts pick it up. Send it off the near boards. To the blue line. Kept in by Sloan. He'll get it to Lunny. Lunny gets double teamed. And back to 5-on-5. Lunny with a great back check. Strips the puck. Bit of a slash. No call. Another slash. No call. Lunny in over the blue line. Gets stripped of it along the boards. Telford gets a piece. Chips it in deep. Colts fire it out. Sloan dumps it back to the blue line, kept out by the Colts. Sloan plays it off the near boards. Colts bring it back in the Flyers zone. Shot. And bobbles it, gets it covered. Darling wins the draw, gets it back to Savory. Savory off the boards. Guglietti. Darling steps in to hold him there. And Savory, Guglietti steps in to help. And DeCamillis. Guglietti feels back out. Colts come up with it. Shot on net, gloved by Dittman. He'll drop it. Picked up by Darling to Guglietti. Guglietti skates it out of the zone, into the Colts zone. Goes wide, shot, blocker save, rebound. Played behind the net. Darling in the near corner. Skates it around. Two Colts players on him. DeCamillis steps in to help him out. DeCamillis gets it to the near corner. Chip to Guglietti behind the net. Guglietti tries to walk out. Jam play. And no goal. Ambrosio in for the draw. He'll win it, picked up by the Colts. Almost kept in by Felix and Nickel. Colts get a piece of it, back in the Flyer zone. Fired off the near boards, back in the Colts zone. Nickel intercepts that pass out front. Past everybody, way from the point. Gets a shot on net. Felix with a backhand, blocked in front. Ambrosio spins, throws it out front to Felix. Couldn't get a stick on it. Colts pick it up to the blue line and out. Mass, back in his own zone, throws it off the glass, back in the Colts end. They'll play it out to the blue line and then out. Nickel, off the glass. Felix gets driven to the ice. Comes in over the Flyers' blue line. Played it in. Ambrosio picks it up. Takes it wide. Shot blocked in front by Barrie. They'll pick up the rebound and skate behind their net and begin bringing it out. Off the boards to Way at the red line. Way to Felix. Nickel was just offside.
That was a delayed whistle.
That was a very delayed whistle. Telford in for the Flyers, take the draw. Won by the Colts into their zone. Lunny applies pressure. Puck comes out to the center ice. Sloan chips it to Lunny at the blue line. Lunny splits the D, gets the puck in the near corner, throws it out front, picked off. Andrade gets a good stick to keep that puck alive in the Flyers' hands. Lunny kicks it to Andrade. Andrade centers it. Nobody's there. Picked up by the Colts. Gets it to the Flyers' blue line. Back to Telford. Telford in over the blue line. Drop pass intended for Andrade. Picked off by the Colts. They'll skate it out. Get the red line and dump it into the Flyers' end. Sloan off the near boards. Lunny. Lunny chips it off the boards for Telford. Telford brings it in his feet, in the near corner. Telford throws it out front. Andrade just a little too deep. Andrade spins, brings it behind the Colts net. He gets tied up.
Come on, Rap, holding!
Telford in the far corner. Andrade steps in to help. Puck comes into the corner. Andrade out front to Lunny. Off a skate to Sloan. Sloan with the shot. Loose puck.
Oh, come on, Rap.
That was a quick whistle. 9:39 to go in the third period.
They're not looking at anything right now. Apparently you can hold kids against the wall.
Yeah. Darling's in to take the draw. He'll win it. To DeCamillis to Savory at the blue line. Savory gets it in. Picked off by the Colts. Darling strips it. Turns it around. Walks in. He gets stripped himself. Gets it in deep to Guglietti. Guglietti spins. Shot blocked in front. Rebound comes to the far corner. Thrown out front. DeCamillis to the blue line. Savory couldn't quite get there in time to keep it in. Savory waits. Plays it off the boards for Darling. Darling sends it for DeCamillis. DeCamillis avoids one. Walks through. A hook, no call. Throws it on net.
Oh, nice try, boy.
Just wide. Rebound to the far boards. Played out to O'Shea at the blue line. He'll throw it back in deep. Behind the Colts net. Picked up by Darling. Darling brings it to the half boards to Savory. Savory sends it back in for Darling. Darling plays it in deep to the corner. DeCamillis, he gets hauled down. Darling steps up. The puck pops over a stick. Colts bring it out of their zone. That was offside, but no call. Puck in the far corner of the Flyers zone. O'Shea gets skated through. Puck comes to Savory. He'll send it back to the opposite way. Ambrosio off the boards. The center ice. Guglietti steps into his man. Loose puck. kicked forward over the blue line. Guglietti gets stripped of it. Nickel reach. Breaks up that play to O'Shea. O'Shea to Felix at center ice. Ambrosio back to Felix. In over the blue line are the Colts. O'Shea lifts it off the near boards. Stripped by the Colts again. They'll dump it in deep. O'Shea around the far boards to Nickel. Nickel lets it go. Colts kick it back in. O'Shea missed that clearing attempt. Colts play to the near corner. O'Shea off the boards to Felix, chipped in by the Colts. 7.5 minutes to go in the period. Along the near boards. Felix strips it. Felix 2-on-1 in over the blue line. Felix through the D, lost the handle just in the last minute. Nickel to Felix. Felix throws it towards the net, and goalie will cover that for a whistle. He does. Telford in for the draw.
Let's go.
Telford wins it to Way at the point. Way lets a shot go, blocked in front. Andrade picks up the rebound. Throws it to Lunny. Lunny to Telford. Telford shot just wide. Rebound picked up by Barrie. Andrade steals it. Comes up with it. Gets it to Lunny again. Lunny with the shot. Again, just wide of the net. And goalie will cover that for a whistle. Telford in for the Flyers. Take the draw.
Go Flyers!
Scrum draw, bouncing puck, picked up by Andrade. He lets a shot go, he scores! Flyers goal scored by number 91, Nathan Andrade. 6:39 to go in the third period. Darling in to take the draw. He'll win it, bring it forward and over the blue line. Plays it wide for Guglietti along the far boards. He chips it into the corner. Guglietti still with the puck. Tries to come up with it. Loose puck, backhander. Bad save by the Barrie goalie. Played to Mass at the blue line. He'll throw it on net. Bouncing puck, loose. Chipped just wide of the net. Colts pick up the puck, send it along the far boards. Out to neutral ice. Mass doesn't get all of it. Back to Mass. He'll send it off the boards. Guglietti in over the blue line. Colts pick it up, bring it off the near boards. Just outside. Darling sends it back in. Colts back out of their zone. Center ice. Stripped by DeCamillis. He gets pinned against the boards. Mass to the blue line. Lays it up. Still onside. Way. Off the far boards. Past everyone. No icing. Colts were changing. Guglietti. He breaks up that clearing attempt. Loose puck behind the net. Guglietti. Back to Darling. Darling comes still with it. Goalie doesn't have a stick. Darling. All kinds of penalties being called there. Back to Jeffrey Stedman. He'll throw it on net. Guglietti. Guglietti with a shot tipped high. And the net's off again.
Okay, ref, come on. Can't keep knocking it off.
Let's delay a game.
Yeah, he keeps knocking it off. It should be a penalty at this point.
5:13 to go in the third period. Ambrosio in for the draw. He'll win it cleanly to Nickel on the far boards. Sloan kept it in, but didn't get enough of it to keep it deep. Colts come out with it. Shot blocked in front. Rebound goes to the far corner. Jeffrey Stedman. Plays it off the boards. Ambrosio into Nichols' skates, picked up by Barrie. They'll throw it towards net. Block shot. Felix. Cleared to the blue line, not out. Ambrosio with another block shot. Colts pick up the puck. Fire it in. Shipman will cover that. Glove that for a whistle. Ambrosio in for the Flyers. Oh, we'll chat from the coach here.
Yeah, he's complaining about the goalkeeper not being
Ambrosio wins the draw to the near corner. It's Savory. Savory plays it off the boards. Picked up by the Colts, thrown out front. O'Shea with some good D. Here's his man out. Picked up by the Flyers. They'll send it to their blue line to Nickel. Nickel in over the blue line. Takes it wide. Walks out, shot. Loose puck in front. Colts clear that. Nickel gets there first, keeps it in. Gets the puck in deep behind the Colts net. Colts send it around the near board. Savory's there to keep that play in. Felix comes up with it. Box out, shot. Loose puck. Picked up by Felix again. Felix tries to step through too many. Gets the puck to Ambrosio. Ambrosio with a shot wide of the net. Rebound. Comes out front. And the Colts goalie will cover that for a whistle. Telford in for the draw. He'll win it. O'Shea steps up, takes a shot just wide of the net. Andrade in the near corner with Lunny. Gets it to Savory. Savory sends it back to Andrade. Andrade spins. Colts pick it up and send it back off the boards. Savory's there, gets it to Andrade. Andrade with a shot. Just wide of the net. Rebound to the far boards. Picked off by Telford. He'll get that back to Andrade. Brady gets stick check, gets it to Telford with a good backhand. Telford throws it on net. Bad save. Cleared up to the blue line and out by the Colts. They'll pass that through neutral ice. Savory in his own end. Fires it around the boards through O'Shea. Colts there win that foot race. Andrade to the blue line and out. Colts player winds up from center ice and fires it in wide of the net. O'Shea with some time. To Telford. Telford skates it out over the blue line and neutral ice, picked up by Lunny. Lunny turns, brings it back in the Colt zone along the far boards. He avoids a hit. Lunny to Andrade. Andrade gets stripped of it. Lunny walks in, lets a shot go. Locked in front, puck's in the near corner. Cleared off the boards to the blue line and out. Colts back in the Flyer zone. Mass off the near boards to the Colts. Telford strips his man of the puck. Gets the blue line and out. Telford brings it into the Colts zone. Walks in, shot. High over the net. Rebound to the far boards. Darling steps into some traffic. Gets the puck to Telford. Telford gets checked. DeCamillis with the puck. Shot. Blocker save. Rebound along the far boards. Darling gets interfered with, no call. Kept in by Guglietti. Breaking into the zone. Darling. Shot wide of the net. DeCamillis along the far boards. He'll pick that puck up and send it back in deep. Colts pick up the puck and bring it to the near boards. Played off. Darling steals it. Keeps it in deep to Guglietti. Guglietti walks out. Shot by Darling off the pads. Rebound, DeCamillis to Mass. Mass gets a shot off, and that's a high stick. Colts come in offside. Where's the high stick? Ambrosio in for the draw. He'll win it cleanly to Jeffrey Stedman. He'll play it off the boards to neutral ice. Colts fire it back in. Jeffrey Stedman to the blue line and out. Ambrosio lifts it to Felix. Felix over the blue line, lets a shot go. Held down by the Colts goaltender. 1:07 to go in the third period. And Barrie calls a timeout. The refs or the coaches aren't allowed to call the timeout.
No.
The player has to call it. Maybe you get some glasses. Yep. Go, boys. Ambrosio in to take the draw for the Flyers. Strum draw, won by Ambrosio. Felix brings it into the corner. He'll slow play it, keeps it there. Gets taken down. Played along the near boards. To the blue line, kept in by Sloan. Sloan just fires that puck in deep. Felix sends it out front. It's a Colts player, and they'll begin the breakout. Back in the Flyers zone. Jeffrey Stedman gets it to Felix. Felix back over the blue line. Shot. Chipped high over the net. Settles down in the far corner. Nickel with the puck. Wins it. Brings it behind the Colts net. Wraparound attempt. Hits a stick. Bounces it sky high. Colts try to clear it. Ambrosio kept it in deep. Colts goalie will cover that for a whistle. .22.5 seconds to go in the third period. Telford in for the draw. He'll win it to Andrade. Andrade tries to get it deep, stripped by the Colts. Lunny keeps it in at the blue line. 14 seconds. Colts begin the breakout through neutral ice. Right on Andrade's shin pad. Colts bring it in. They'll take it wide. 5 seconds to go. Touched by Jeffrey Stedman. He'll get it to the blue line and out. Not out. But that'll do it for the period. Final score, Flyers 3, Colts 2.